From very early on, I knew I wanted to make a movie about the Spengler family. I think this was my personal way into the story. I think that the story of the 4 original Ghostbusters is a story that belongs to my father and Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis, and they told that story beautifully. And I wanted to expand the universe and start with new characters in a new place on a new adventure in a way that still reminded you of everything you love about Ghostbusters, with details of everything you love, from the packs to the car to the flight suits to the ghosts to the terror dogs to the guys. And at the same time, start expanding what a Ghostbusters movie could look like, where it could take place, who it could star, so that we can open up this universe and start getting more films from other parts of the world. You know, Egon Spengler was my favorite Ghostbuster. Everyone has a favorite Ghostbuster. It's like having a favorite Beatle. And for whatever reason, Egon, who was brilliant and quiet and misunderstood, he spoke to me, he made me laugh the most, and so it made the most sense to me to follow through in his family trajectory. This has been an extraordinary couple of years for the world, and I've been very fortunate, more fortunate than most. And it gave us an opportunity to look at the movie the way a screenwriter looks at a script. We were able to set it down the way you would a script and come back to it months later and watch it with fresh eyes. And we made various little adjustments along the way, and particularly had more time to work on visual effects, which, as you know, this is my first visual effects film. So there was a high learning curve for me as I figured out how to do this, and certainly was able to dial in certain characters and effects way better than had we released 2 years ago. This is my first movie working with Francois. He's a genius and had done extraordinary work before Ghostbusters. I feel very lucky to have worked with him. He and I talked about creating real sets from the very beginning. We didn't want to make a movie inside a green screen stage. We wanted to make a film the way they did it in '84, where if we were going to build giant Gozerian steps or build giant temples, we would make them. And we had an extraordinary team up in Calgary, and the actors were working in the real thing. When they walked around the sets, they were really there. I really love these characters. I'm very fond of them, particularly of Phoebe. You know, Gil Kenan and I wanted to write a young hero, a young woman who was brilliant and a scientist and misunderstood just like her grandfather Egon. And we wanted to create a young woman that our daughters could look up to. So I would love to continue telling her story. It was so intimidating to make this film in the first place, and it scared me for years. And I'm thrilled to have done it. And now it's time for audience to see if they enjoy it. You know, they started to watch it, they seem to like it, but we'll know better in a couple weeks.